You said something. You could have resentment for somebody for something you committed to doing in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And it's like
how you can, like, and so basically in a nutshell, what you're saying is, hey, Wes, can you do this for me? Yes, Cosmo, I can. And then it gets hard, and then you go, gosh dang, I wish that Cosmo would never, I'm never going to do a job for him again, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And the whole time I'm sitting there and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? And that directly ties into, I'm not responsible for your happiness, you are. Welcome to yet another podcast featuring...
You got to get better at this, man.
I do.
We're at episode 27.
I know. I just want to have like a good featuring, and then like cool names, like,
code names.
Wes, like a wrestling.
No, it sounds cool. I don't know what
we need to have like a wrestling, like, when they say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You remember the Ham and the Sandlot, the Sultan of SWAT? the Colossus of Clout. Like these kids.
Yeah, we need something like that.
Yeah, we got to think about that. Maybe they could put it in the comments. There's a guy on YouTube who he always starts his channel, I'm Gerald Undone, and blah, blah, blah. And then he just says something random from the comments. But like people know, so they put stuff in there. He just picks something out.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. So we need our
we do need
our
more
call signs, or
we need more people. What if we did that? What if they tagged us today at KosmoUnfiltered.com?
It'd be funny. We need help. We clearly need help.
Let's do that for 28.
Okay,
we'll do it for 28. But no matter where you're listening or watching this at, thank you for being a part. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting for, man? Smash that subscribe.
You can't help it.
I know, man. I can't help it. It's like,
smash.
I gotta say it.
Say it in your sleep.
So we want to thank everybody for joining us. And as always, we do these for free. No charge, no commercials, no ads. So if you like what we're doing, all we have is one easy, super simple request. Share this with a friend and make sure to tag us at Kosmo Unfiltered and say, hey, dipshit, you need this in your life.
Hey,
this man has destroyed everything in his and is telling you what not to do. Well, hey, man, this episode is going to be a good one. And this one is, I don't know. I have some notes here, but I may shy away from them because I would really, this is something you have said to me even years ago.
Oh, no.
And I'm just now
nervous now,
figuring it out, that you are not responsible for someone else's happiness. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm a little worried about how this ties into what I said because I don't recall.
Man, it took me forever to grasp this. I thought for the majority of my life that I was responsible for other people's happiness, but it just turned out that it was just more of a toxic guilt that I was experiencing.
Mm.
What is that? What is that, Wes? What is toxic guilt?
You ask? Okay. Hey, what is toxic guilt?
I have the definition right here.
Okay.
Toxic guilt is when you experience guilt without having done anything wrong.
Fair. Yeah, I felt that before.
That's toxic guilt.
Mm.
And when I understood that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have lived with that forever. And story time. Golly, my wife's going to hear this. I don't know that we've ever talked about it. I told her, anyways.
How'd you level up your marriage? I started a podcast. She started listening to it.
I hope my wife doesn't listen to these. She probably doesn't. I used to do this to her all the time because I was like, my wife, anybody that knows my wife knows she's a worker. She is an absolute beast when it comes to getting shit done.
Yeah.
She's unbelievable. But I used to guilt her for, we don't go on vacation enough. We don't spend enough time together. She wouldn't come to barbecue events with me after the kids got a certain age. And what I was really saying is I need you to come so I can be happy. And it hit me that she's not responsible for my happiness. I am. And I need to quit guilting, either knowingly or unknowingly, her into trying to make me happy.
Sure.
That's a big confession.
But in hindsight.
She helped me realize that I was happy. I was responsible for my happiness.
Yeah.
Because, it's like that saying, hurt people hurt people. And I had so much trauma and, stuff like that as a child and growing up, and all, just kept stacking the things on top of each other, one another. And it just kind of seeps out here and there. Yeah. And this is one of the areas that, where for me, it seeped out that I thought she was responsible for making me happy. And when I understood that that wasn't the case, I was responsible for my own happiness. And then, ironically, I was like, well, if I want to go on vacation, why don't I just go on vacation? So I started doing that. And now she's like, hey, man, you're going on another trip? Yeah. Yeah, I am,
How much golf can one man handle?
Let's go. And I'm horrible at golf, too.
It's for the love of the game.
Yeah. Last year I took 2 vacations. And by vacation, I don't go to, Europe and, tour the Vatican and stuff like that. I went to Moab. We rode razors up there for 9 days. Went to Destin. We go to Destin quite a bit, though. For me, I go twice a year at least. Played golf down there for, I think, 6 days. Went to Arkansas. So, I don't know. I just said I'm not going to start boring you with...
You're well traveled.
Yeah, all my travels. So, have you ever, talk to me. Have you ever... What's this like in your world?
No, yeah, I had my grandmother was kind of like the queen of the house, and she was very outspoken. We lived with her from the time I was real young, and she had created a world for herself and everybody else to live in. And when you were in her world, you played by her rules. And she passed away last year, so they're kind of like hindsight's 2020. We're all kind of bookended in this whole. She was a giant, crazy, lady, awesome for all of us. She had her faults. Everybody's got theirs. You can kind of see those in a different light when somebody's gone. But she had big, big expectations for me and everybody in the house about who we were to be and what we were to live up to. And that stuff kind of transferred over to my life now where I think and have expectations for myself that are at a level that are just not healthy. And I try to meet them and create them. It's everything can be kind of performative for me where it's if I can make you happy, I'll do it. I'll figure out how to do that. And I'll do that to my detriment. Where there's this thing in my head, it's here I have been bending over backwards to do all this stuff. And I haven't even had moments, you resent somebody for them taking a second to go make themselves happy. Yeah. Because it just has not even entered your mind. Well, I got to do these dishes and I got to do this to keep the wheels on the bus. Yeah. And I got to go figure this out, and you feel guilty for even the toxic guilt for taking a second for yourself. You know what I mean? You just can't even conceive. Man, so that's where I'm at still with all of it.
I used to. I don't anymore. But you just said something.
That was a long answer to your question.
That was a long answer, but thank you for that. Because you said something. You could have resentment for somebody for something you committed to doing in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And it's
how you can, and so basically in a nutshell, what you're saying is, hey, Wes, can you do this for me? Yes, Cosmo, I can. And then it gets hard. And then you go, gosh dang, I wish that Cosmo, I'm never going to do a job for him again, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And the whole time I'm sitting there and I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? And that directly ties into, I'm not responsible for your happiness. You are.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe if you'd have said, hey, this would have took, instead of 1 day, hey, this will take 4 days. You'd never know. Maybe I'd have said, perfect. I don't need it for another week.
Sure.
And then you would have been happy.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's the time in life that I'm in, it's probably the hardest of any other season in life to like have your own independence. Cause like I got a little kid at the house.
Yeah.
And so when either of us need to go, work out or take 30 minutes to do something, like it means the other one is having to be, super parent and do all the things you usually do together. Or like we settle into these roles where we each have our thing that we do to get everybody taken care of and in bed and on time. And so it's just it's like fever pitch right now. Just
the unwritten rules.
Yeah. It's like
of parenting.
And you can't plan it. You can't, I'm sure there are people listening that understand and doing the same thing, and it doesn't get easier because then they're like, I want to play baseball and totally consume your life on the weekends.
Yeah.
Aren't you excited?
But I could totally see how, how in relationships, this is how resentment is built.
Yeah.
Start
small.
Start small, even a stay-at-home parent, is at home doing all the, like that. First of all, I just want to say this. That's not a job that I would be cut out for. That's a hard job.
Yes, it is.
That is a hard, because, man, you don't get no
break.
No break.
Nope.
At least when you're done with work, you go home and, kind of get a break. But there is no
nothing.
And the people that do that, man, God bless you, man. Great job.
I applaud you.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't care about your happiness either. But hey, that's just not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people that fills their cup up.
Yeah.
And hey, man.
At the end of the day, though, you can't put those expectations on someone else. Like it's toxic for you to attach your happiness to what someone else can do for you.
100%.
Like, because they're just going to suffocate under that weight and constantly be like, okay, I got to do this because that obviously is connected to this. Like, it's just, they're going to be trapped in their head all the time trying to.
And I don't want somebody to hear us saying that, well, since I'm responsible for my happiness, you need to figure out how you're responsible for yours.
Bye.
You still need to do the dishes and I'm going to play golf. We're not saying that at all.
No. Yeah.
We're not saying that in the context of, you don't get to dismiss all your responsibilities just so you can be happy and push them off on somebody else. That's manipulation.
Yeah.
That's
a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Don't take that and run with it.
Yeah. That's when you're just being a deadbeat.
Yeah.
But, when I understood that I was responsible for my happiness, that's it. That changed everything.
Yeah.
And this is just my belief. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. This is not advice. Do not do this. You should consult with your doctor. I actually, they wanted to put me on a bunch of different medications, and I was like, okay, so in my head, I was like, okay, so let me try to do this on my own. If I need these, great, I'll take them. And some people do need them, and some people absolutely should take them. But for me, I was like, I looked at it like this, like these pills are now, since I can't make myself happy, these pills are responsible for my happiness.
Yeah.
And that was just for me. And I was like, I'm going to try to do this on my own. And it turns out that they had me on, I was on Xanax for, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years.
It's hard to get off that too.
That's it, dude. And that's why I say that. It's horrible.
Yeah.
That stuff is so addictive. It's not even funny. It took me I want to say 6 or 8 months to get off of them.
Yeah.
And it was horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible. And the funny thing is all they did was just mask my unhappiness, cover it up, put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
It was there the whole time. And I get it. Some people do need that stuff for short bursts or for long bursts. I don't know. I'm not. I can only speak about my truth. I don't know about yours. Consult your family physician. I feel like I should say that.
No, some people are dealing with a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
And if you're able to live without it with some modifications,
right?
Yeah.
And I was imbalanced because of the things that I was doing.
Yeah.
And I want to be very clear about that. I put myself in that position. So in my head, I'm going to get myself out of that position. And I chose to come off these certain medications. And I've been off of them for 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, probably 8 years now.
Yeah.
8 years, 6 years, maybe. I can't remember. I lose track of time. But that's when I understood that I'm responsible for my happiness.
Sure.
And and I did take them. I was put on Xanax at a young age, back when they just put you on anything. But I'm so glad that I'm off of them. And I'm not saying that, certain people don't need them. I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying. I'm just talking about myself.
And if you even have the question, you probably already know. You know what I mean? Like if it's even a curiosity in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
You know.
So with that in a nutshell, from here on out, or so what do I do now is I just simply rely on myself to make myself happy. I don't overcomplicate it. I don't water it down or dilute it. If I'm not feeling happy, then I go, okay, well, what does make me feel happy? I should probably, and then, once you start looking back, you can tell where you got off track.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what are you going to start doing today to make sure that you are responsible for your happiness and cut out the toxic guilt? Toxic guilt, man. I'm going to read that again. That one's good. Toxic guilt is when you experience guilt without having done anything wrong. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy. So, hey, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you love what we're doing, please share this with somebody. We got to grow our channel. We need more of you so we get more comments. But tag us down in the comments, Kosmo Unfiltered, and let us know, what you thought of this episode. Do you agree with it? Thumbs up? I don't know. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.